Okay guys, welcome to the first Retard Girl YouTube video. I just had this one idea to do for my first video, and basically I'm going to be going through all 52 of my records, ranking them, and telling you guys my favorite songs, why I like them, why I hate them, stuff like that. Okay guys, let's get into the freaking video. So starting at number 52, in all the way last place is Mac DeMarco 2. I don't even know why I bought this record. Like, I don't even listen to Mac DeMarco. The only song I know from this album is My Kind of Woman and Freaking Out the Neighborhood. Those are the only songs I like, okay? This album was like $30. I got it at Barnes& and Noble, and I deeply regret it. I wish I never bought this, because I probably listened to like the first side of the record once, and I just like decided I'm never listening to this shit again, because it sucks. This album sucks. I don't like it. Okay, that's last place, number 52. At 51, we got The Glove, Robert Smith vocal demos. Now, when I bought this, I thought it was like their album Blue Sunshine because of the songs on the back, and my dumbass didn't read vocal demos because I was just like so excited to find Blue Sunshine, but it's not Blue Sunshine, okay? It's literally vocal demos. So this record, like it's ass, okay? For lack of a better word, it's ass. I wish I never bought this. So number 50, we have Sonic Youth. What's this fucking record called? Dirty. It's called Dirty, okay? Um, I bought this because this was like before I really started getting into Sonic Youth, before I really like knew any of their actual songs. Um, I thought that I liked this record, but when I listened to this, I just no. The only song I really like from this is Sugarcane. It doesn't do it for me. Like I like Sonic Youth, but this record really does not do it for me. I kind of regret buying it because I don't listen to it. I can't even remember the last time I played this record. So number 49, we have Bauhaus, In the Flat Field. It's not that great, you know. It's a very like if you understand, you understand kind of album because Bauhaus, their music is like pretty weird. It's for weird people, you know. So at 48, we have In Rainbows by Radiohead. I actually really like a lot of songs on here. Like Jigsaw Falling Into Place, Weird Fishes, Nude, All I Need, and it just reminds me of a time that I'm not going to mention. So I guess this is 47. We have, I'm pretty sure this is their self-titled System of a Down. I don't know. I don't even really listen to System of a Down that much, so I'm not too sure why I bought this. But I mean, I don't hate it. You know, I like Sweet Pea, Sugar, Spiders, but that's it. So this album just it's eh. And at number 46, we have Slow, Deep, and Hard by Typo Negative. I was super excited by this record when I first saw it because I was just like, oh my god, Typo Negative, you know, like, turns out I actually don't like this record that much. Like, it's just, the songs are like kind of boring. Like, the songs are just like boring. But I do like Unsuccessfully Coping with the Natural Beauty of Infidelity and Gravitational Constant. I think the only songs I like on here. Oh, and by the way, in case you can't tell, this is a clitoris. This is the roast beef of the vagina, and this is a penis going into a vagina. So it's a pretty cool album cover. I really like the poster that came with, so I don't regret buying it. I don't listen to it at all. And I don't think I really plan to in the future. Okay, it's not that I hate this record, I actually really like this one, but this record is just like straight up messed up. Just straight up broken. Like it's not on my record player because it plays other records just fine. But for some reason, this one's all fucked up. And I can't remember if it was used. I think it was. I got it used online. But I actually really like this record. I listened to this record a lot when I was a freshman, and I was kind of going through that little baby bat phase. I really like Candyman and Cities and Dust, 92 Degrees. It's a really good record. So number 44, we have Follow the Leader by Korn. You know, I don't hate this record, but I don't listen to Korn anymore. I did a lot when I was a freshman. I was like into that whole like new metal thing. So it's a good record. You know, I just don't listen to it. So that's why it's like really far back in the ranking. You know, number 43, we have The Cure, The Top. Actually, no, I don't hate this record at all. I never listen to it. Sometimes I forget I even have this record. Dressing Up, I'd probably say that's my favorite song from this record. Banana Fish Bones. I don't hate The Caterpillar, even though I used to. You know, it's really not a bad record. I just never listened to it, I guess. 42, we have Too Fast for Love by Motley Crue. Actually, what got me into collecting records in the first place was because I was super excited to find this record. Let's see, my favorites are Live Wire, Take Me to the Top, and Too Fast for Love. Number 41, Nirvana, self-titled. I just don't listen to it at all. I like all the songs on here, especially About a Girl, Come As You Are, Heart Shaped Box, and Dumb. Those are my favorite songs. I like Nirvana a lot, but I don't listen to them. I probably should, because I do like a lot of the songs on here. So number 40, we have Three Imaginary Boys by The Cure. I don't listen to it at all. The only songs I like on here are the song Three Imaginary Boys, Object, and Accuracy. Other than that, I don't really care for this record. I only really bought it because like I wanted to kind of like add more to my Cure collection because I do have like a lot of Cure records. So that's number 40. Number 39, we have The Smiths, Louder Than Bombs. This album is okay. Actually, this album's not even that bad. I like quite a few songs. I like Half a Person, London, Girl Afraid, Back to the Old House, very sad song, but very beautiful song. This Night Has Opened My Eyes, amazing song. So I do like this record, but it's like really long. There's 4 sides. There's 2 records, 4 sides. So I just don't play it that much, you know, because it's like not too much. And I get bored. So we have number 38. We have Alice in Chains, Jar of Flies. If I'm being super honest, I only like Rotten Apple and Nutshell from this record. Other than that, I don't really care for it. But like, I love the song Rotten Apple. I think that song really carries this entire album. So, okay. So 37, we have Susie and the Banshees, Once Upon a Time, which is a compilation album. I like this record, but I got it specifically because it had my favorite song, Christine, on it, or Christine. So I kind of like had to get it, you know? But unfortunately, like my other Susie record, it's fucking like broken. Like it plays so bad on my record player. And like, I swear it is not my record player. Like it just plays horribly. It's a good record. It just plays like shit. So number 36, we have The Velvet Underground Nico. I don't really know what to say about this album. It's an iconic album, but it's more of like an art concept. It is by Andy Warhol, produced by Andy Warhol. So I do like the art, you know, the iconic banana that peels, reveals a pink banana. OMG. Not that crazy. It's just noise. However, I do like Venus and Furs. It's a really good song, but it's just, it's mid to say the least. 35, we have Lana Del Rey's Born to Die. Now, I actually don't listen to Lana at all. This wasn't even my record. This was my sister's, and like this was the only record she ever bought ever in her whole life. I don't know. It's, like I guess it's just mine now for some reason, but I don't hate it. I couldn't tell you my favorite song from this record though because I don't I don't know any of these songs. But, like, I like to listen to it, so that's why it's like this ahead in the ranking. Because it's like it's really not a bad record at all. Like the songs in here are good, but I'm really not that into Lana. So she's number 35 or something, I think, right? Yeah. So number 34, we have The Queen Is Dead by The Smiths. This album again is mid. I only like a few songs. Like I Know It's Over. That's probably my favorite song. Big Mouth Strikes Again and Some Girls Are Bigger Than Others. But to be honest, I don't really like There's a Light That Never Goes Out. It just like it kind of got like really ruined. It like became really corny when it was like trending on TikTok with like the 500 Days of Summer. Like, oh, I said I love The Smiths. It was just annoying, you know. Like I just don't really care for that song. Number 33, we have Treasure by Cocteau Twins. This is a beautiful record. The songs on here are beautiful. However, I only really know and like one song, and that's Pandora for Cindy. Beautiful fucking song. Like when I think of heaven and angels, I think of Pandora for Cindy. Like I wanted to play this song at my wedding when I walked down the aisle. Like I love that song. It's so beautiful. It's a beautiful record, but I feel like it only has one song that's like really memorable for me, and that's Pandora. This is kind of like in the middle for me. So at 32, we have The Head on the Door by The Cure. You know, I don't really care that much for this album either. However, it does have Sinking, which is like one of my favorite Cure songs ever. So like I feel like it really carries the entire album just because I love that song so much. But A Night Like This is really good too, as well as Kyoto Song. I like that song too. It's not one of my favorites. 31, we have Violator by Depeche Mode. Okay guys, so this was actually the first record I ever bought, and I found out about them on TikTok. Like they're like, I think it was Enjoy the Silence. Yeah. People were talking about like it's a good song and they're a good band, and like I guess wanted to be a part of something. So I wanted to like the album, so I just bought the album, and like this is my first record. So I don't know. I guess I just decided to start here with Depeche Mode. I was a freshman, and I only had like 2 records for like a while, and this is like the only one I could really listen to. The Sweetest Perfection is like engraved into my brain, but World in My Eyes, Sweetest Perfection, and Enjoy the Silence. Policy of Truth is pretty good too. I like this record. Reminds me of Little Baby Me when I was a freshman, like I said. Yeah, first record I ever bought. Just has a special place in my heart. However, not that special because it's in the middle. I'm not used to talking this much. I'm like low-key getting tired. But number 30, we have Gore by Deftones. This album is their biggest flop, and I can see why. Praise and Triangles, Hearts and Wires are the songs that I really liked. I don't really fuck with this album, if I'm being honest. Number 29, we have Wish by The Cure. More than anything, I love the cover art for this album. I think it's just absolutely amazing, okay? Like, iconic. Like, I'm literally gonna get this entire album cover tattooed someday. Like, I just love it so much. In terms of the music, okay? I'd say I only like really like 2 songs, and that's Open and From the Edge of the Deep Green Sea. The other songs are just not that good to me, you know? This has their most popular song, I think, in their entire discography, which is Friday I'm in Love and A Letter to Elise. I don't really care for either of their songs, especially A Letter to Elise. I think that song sucks, but... Number 28, My Bloody Valentine Isn't Anything. I remember when I went to the record store and I saw this record, I literally had to contain myself from screaming. I almost did a backflip. I remember it was like $67. Okay, it was expensive as shit. But, you know, I don't regret buying it because I do really like this record. My favorite song is Several Girls Galore. But the song reminds me of, that's what this whole record reminds me of. It just reminds me of turning 15. It reminds me of the summer I turned 15. Like I said, I really, really like this record. However, I don't play it because on the turntable it sounds like shit, if I'm being honest. But I still love it. So at number 27, we have Deftones, Around the Fur. Okay, I don't even know where to start with this record. The album, I was obsessed with Deftones, okay, when I was 14, 13. I remember My Own Summer was like my favorite song ever. So this record just kind of like reminds me of then when I was like 14 years old. I was a freshman, because I was heading to Deftones and I really liked this album. I think it was like probably my favorite album by them at the time. And I still really do like this album. I like all the songs in here, but it's just like I'm not really into like heavy music anymore, so I don't listen to it much. It's a great record, but it's just not my kind of thing anymore, I guess. Right after that, we have Adrenaline, also by Deftones. I couldn't really decide which one I wanted to put first, Around the Fur or Adrenaline, but I ended up putting this one because I think it's just like slightly better than Around the Fur, you know? But my favorite song on here is probably Nosebleed or Fire Real. I also really like Birthmark. Birthmark is probably my favorite song. Yeah, I think Birthmark is my favorite song on here. But same thing, not my kind of thing anymore, so I don't really listen to it that much. 25. The Cure, 17 Seconds. Okay, when I first started listening to The Cure, I really only listened to this album and Pornography. I really liked In Your House a lot, as well as The Forest, M, and 17 Seconds. I don't really know what to say about this record, other than like, it reminds me of when I was 14, and this was like my walking music, okay? 24. We have the Pretty in Pink soundtrack. I was listening to this a lot when I first got it earlier this year. It has If You Leave by, I don't even know how to fucking say their name, Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark. If You Leave. It's a great song. I love that song. As well as Pretty in Pink by the Psychedelic Furs. Love that song. Obviously, it's what the movie is named after. Pretty in Pink is also one of my favorite movies. At 23, we have Garland by Cocteau Twins. And this was the record that I was listening to on repeat. I loved this record, especially But I'm Not. That's definitely my favorite song from this record. It's a great song. I just love this record. Like, it's so good. Like, I love Cocteau Twins, and I feel like when people say they listen to Cocteau Twins, they mean shit like Heaven or Las Vegas. Me personally, I don't really care for that album. I like their earlier albums way more. Like this one is their debut album. I just love it. It's a beautiful record. Number 22, we have Strawberry Switchblade, and I was like in my little whimsy goth era. I was listening to this record a lot. It's not like anything I'm like usually into. It's like very pop, but I actually do really like it. I love Rose McDowell. I think her voice is great. My favorite song was 10 James Orr Street, and that was actually my number one song on my like wrapped replay for last year, 2023. I think my boyfriend got it for me for Christmas, I want to say. The deluxe version of this record, Michael Who Walks by Night, is like also one of my favorite songs, as well as Black Taxi. I love that song. And Poor Hearts. So most of the songs that I like from this record aren't even on this record. Number 21, we have Evolve by Sonic Youth. Remember, I used to listen to this record a lot. Like I had it on replay over and over because I love Green Light. It's such a good song, as well as Tom Violence, but I still really, really love this record. Okay. At number 20, we have October Rest by Type O Negative. My favorite songs on here are probably Burnt Flowers Fallen or In Praise of Bacchus. I'm not really sure which one I could pick as my number one, as well as Wolf Moon. Wolf Moon is really good. So this album overall is just like really good. Definitely my favorite by Type O Negative. Okay, so at 19, we have Sonic Youth, Goo. If I had to pick one favorite from this record, I'd probably say Titanium Expose. I'm not sure, but it's a really good record. I was listening to this a lot when I was a sophomore. Okay, number 18, Ohms by Deftones. This was the second record I ever bought. Okay, so it was this record and Violator by Depeche Mode, like on repeat, like because those were the only two I had for like a really long time. I was especially into this album when I first started listening to Deftones, because I'm pretty sure like when I first started listening is when they just dropped this album, like back in 2020, I want to say. I really like this record. I think it's a really good record. Especially my favorite songs are Genesis, that is a great song, The Style of Mathematics, and Headless. Those are all really, really good songs. Okay, 17, we have Diamond Eyes by Deftones. Beauty School was actually the first song I ever heard by Deftones ever, and it made me just fall in love with the band. Like, it's just probably my favorite on here, but I still really love Diamond Eyes. You've Seen the Butcher is a really good song. Risk, 976 Evil, and This Place is Death. Like, they're all really, really good songs. I don't really care for Command and Control or Royal. This album reminds me of when I went to Vegas in 2021. I was just like listening to this album a lot, especially Rocket Skates, and unfortunately these songs remind me of the guy I was talking to at the time. So as much as I love Deftones songs, like they all just like remind me of like when I was 13 and 14, just like not in the best place and talking to a loser. And unfortunately their songs are beautiful, but they just remind me of that time. So I don't really listen to them as much as I used to, because, you know. So number 16, we have Deftones Self-Titled by Needles and Pans, Minerva. When Girls with Telephone Boys, oh my god, I loved that song. This album kind of reminds me of my boyfriend. I remember when me and him first started talking, I was listening to this record a lot. Number 15, Japanese Whispers by The Cure. This is like the one album by The Cure where I can say I love every single song. Like, For the longest time, this was actually my favorite record by them. Okay. The first semester of sophomore year, I was listening to this record a lot, especially Let's Go to Bed, and The Upstairs Room. Uh, those were like kind of like on my repeat, my daily repeat, you know? Yes, this is the one Cure record where I can say I like all the songs, which is like kind of crazy. Now I don't listen to it as much, so, but I still really like it. So at number 14, we have Bad Moon Rising by Sonic Youth. This album is quite literally just noise, but it's really good noise. Society as a whole, I love her all the time, and Death Valley 69, I love Death Valley 69. So I feel like that song really, really carries this record, which is why I put it so high in the ranking. Number 13, Corneo Comic Deftones. I really like a lot of the songs on here. This is another record that my boyfriend got for me on my 16th birthday. Yes. I remember we used to like tell each other that the songs on this record remind us of each other, like, oh, this song reminds me of you, makes me think of you, corny shit like that, you know? Obviously, when I listen to Gauze, I think of my boyfriend because that's his fucking username and everything. So this album just like completely reminds me of my boyfriend. That's honestly all I can really say about it. My favorite song here was Graphic Nature for the longest time. Even though like I started to hate the songs when they got popular on TikTok, Entombed and Rosemary. Now, like I listen to those and they're just great songs. Like great music is great music. Even if TikTok made it corny. Still love this record. So number 12, we have Strange Days by The Doors. I like pretty much every song on it. I remember when I was a sophomore, the first semester of sophomore year, I was listening to this record a lot. I just love this record so much. You're a Lost Little Girl, and I Can't See Your Face in My Mind. My Eyes Have Seen You, probably my favorites on here. Okay, here's number 11. We have The Doors self-titled. This is their first album. This is my Pookie Jim Morris thing. This is my favorite by The Doors. It's just a great record, honestly. So, Light My Fire is my number 1. The Crystal Ship, I love that song as well. And End of the Night, I love End of the Night. It's like such a good song. Number 10, we have The Best of Sade. I can't say anything bad about this record. Literally, like, you know, it's her best music, so it's just like all of her popular songs. Specifically, Smooth Operator. I know this is her most popular overrated song, but I don't give a fuck. I love that song. The Sweetest Taboo, Like a Tattoo, and Jezebel is a Crime. I love this record. It is such a good record to listen to when you're drunk off your ass and you feel like being sad, or you feel like missing the person that broke your heart. Listen to this record. It's a beautiful record. I love Sade. She's such a beautiful singer. So this is number 10. So now we're finally in the top 10. We have number 9, Souvlaki by Slowdive. A very beautiful record. You know, it's like probably the most known, iconic Slowdive record ever. This was the first record that my boyfriend ever got for me. I think it was like the first thing he ever bought for me for like Christmas, I think I want to say. So yeah, this whole record just like reminds me of him. I can't really listen to it anymore because it just like makes me sad. Reminds me of like our little honeymoon stage when things were still good between us, you know. But I mean, it's still like really good. I still really like the songs on here. I think Dagger is my favorite song on here. It's such a good song, as well as 40 Days. 40 Days is like a great song. Yeah, as sad as this album makes me, it's a beautiful album. Can't deny that. So it makes it into my top 10. Number 8, we have Only Theater of Pain by Christian Death. I love this record so much. I feel like it's probably like the only goth record that I still listen to like today. I like this whole record, honestly. Like I can't say anything bad about it, so it definitely makes my top 10. Specifically, Figurative Theater. That was like my number 1 song for like a long time when I was like my little goth phase, late 2023, I want to say. And Cavity, loved that song. I was like so excited when I saw it. I saw it at Raging Records. It was only like $20. I was like, oh my gosh, I had to have that, you know? Okay, so anyways, number 7, we have Faith by The Cure. Every time I listen to this record, I feel like I'm ascending. I feel like I'm like in the clouds or some shit. Let's see, my favorite songs. Maybe, I'm not really too sure. Maybe The Holy Hour, All Cats Are Grey, and Doubt. Probably say my number 1 is Doubt. I'm not really too sure what else to say about this record other than it makes me feel like I'm ascending, and I love it for that reason. So, number 6, we have White Putty by Deftones. It's just great. Like, arguably, probably the best Deftones record. Honestly, I'd probably say that I like all the songs in here. The only song that I don't really care for is Elite. I never cared for that song. I don't think I ever will care for that song. RX Queen, Knife Party, Passenger. Just, it's just such a good record. Like I said about all the other Deftones records, I was super heavy into them when I was a freshman. So, this album just reminds me when I was 13, 14 years old. All emo and shit. Like, has a very special place in my heart. Now, we're finally in the top 5. I'm so excited to be finally done with this. So, number 5, we have Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me by The Cure. Now, I think this was my first Cure record that I ever bought. So, when I first started listening to The Cure, I wasn't listening to, like, this album at all. Like, the only albums I listened to was 17 Seconds and Pornography. So I wasn't listening to, like, Disintegration or Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, or, like, any other albums. It was just, like, those 2 albums, kind of. In June 2022 is when I started listening to this record and all the other records. So I started getting into them because when me and my boyfriend were just friends, he gave me like basically like a playlist with a bunch of love songs. I think it was only like 1 song from this record was on that playlist, and that was How Beautiful You Are. I love that song so much, like specifically because of that playlist. So yeah, that playlist was like what got me into listening to The Cure a lot. I was listening to How Beautiful You Are constantly, so I decided to just buy the whole record, I guess. And I started listening to it. I fell in love. I was obsessed with Torture. I honestly think that was my number one song for 2022, I want to say. I don't remember, but I know this record was definitely my number one most listened to album for 2022. That I do remember. Uh, but I was obsessed with Torture. I was listening to that song over and over. Like I said, How Beautiful You Are. Just, I love that song so much. It's so cute. You know, like, when it's dedicated to you in a playlist full of love songs, it's just, like, especially special, you know? So cuteness. The Snake Pit, I love that song so much. It's, like, very, like, majestic, mystical, and it's such a great record. I love this record so, so bad. Okay, guys, at number 4, we have Pornography by The Cure. This, like I said, was the first album by The Cure that I really started listening to. That's how I got into them. And I honestly don't know what else to say about it other than just, like, I love it. It's what got me into listening to them in the first place. Specifically, 100 Years. That is my favorite song from this record. It was that song, The Hanging Garden, and A Strange Day that I was listening to a lot. Those were, like, my favorite songs when I was, like, first listening to The Cure. It's just so iconic, and I just love it so much. So that is number 4. And my top 3 now. So number 3, we have Head Over Heels by Cocteau Twins. This entire album is literally just, like, it's like an angel is singing to you, literally. Specifically, My Love, Paramore. Just, like, in my opinion, one of the best songs ever made. Like, it's just such a beautiful song. I love that song so much. Amazing fucking record. I love this record. Definitely my number 1 favorite by Cocteau Twins. It's too good, guys. Just trust me. In second place, we have Frank by Amy Winehouse, which I'm pretty sure you guys could have guessed because, like, you know me, I love Amy Winehouse. In my opinion, this album is better than Back to Black. I just love every single song on here. Like, it's so, so good. Like, it's such, like, a brilliant record. Like, this, like, I'm fucking speechless because I just love this record so much. Okay, Moody's Mood for Love. In My Bed, Take the Box, What is it About Men, Amy, and Know You Now. Great, great songs. I don't think it's on the record, but it is on the deluxe version, but Round Midnight is also my favorite song. I think that made it into my top 5 for my replayed songs of this year. So that's, like, my favorite song from this record, even though it's not on the physical record. But if I had to pick one, I'd probably say Amy. I just love it, you know, because, like, I love the way she just sounds, like, playful and sexy, and, like, she was just, like, so unapologetically her. I love you, Amy Winehouse. So that's number 2. Okay, guys, so now it's time to reveal number 1, and I'm pretty sure those who know me could have seen this from a mile away, okay? So for number 1, we got Disintegration by The Cure. This is quite literally the greatest album ever made in the whole entire existence of the world and the universe and the solar systems. This album will change your life. Trust me, guys. It is quite literally the greatest album of all time. South Park was not lying. Obviously, my favorite song is Disintegration. This whole album actually reminds me of my boyfriend, I'm not gonna lie. I remember when he sent me that little, like, playlist of love songs that I mentioned when we were still friends. It started with Pictures of You, which is, like, also one of the main reasons I started listening to The Cure a lot, you know? That song and, like, this album, just, like, I just, like, fell in love with The Cure. I just love that song so much. The meaning behind the song, like, the lore, I guess, it's just, like, it makes it even, like, more beautiful, you know? I remember when I went to go see them in concert, it was the second song that they played, and I just, like, I started bawling, like, literally, I started crying, just, like, oh my god, it's a beautiful song. I could make a whole video just, like, talking about why I love Robert Smith and the way he writes his lyrics, but I'm not gonna get into that now because I know you guys don't care. But there's not one song that I don't like from this record, but that's all I can say is Disintegration is my number 1. Like, I'll be playing this entire record at my wedding. When I die, I will tell them to play this record at my funeral, and I will tell them to put this entire record on a QR code and put it on my freaking headstone, okay? I love this record so bad. So that's why it's my number 1. Out of all my records that I own, and just, like, out of all the records I know in the world, because it's the greatest album ever freaking made of all time. Okay, guys, so the video is finally over. Like my video, please. If you made it this far into the video, comment realness. You guys should, like, comment anyway, and, like, tell me what I should post on this account, because I don't know what to post. Like, give me ideas what I should do for my second video. If you did make it this far into the video, I'm genuinely shocked. So if you did, I love you so much, and you're a real one. Okay, bye, guys.
Subscribe to Retard Girl.